Hey guys, welcome to the first day of the 12 Days of Sadness. Today we're going to be talking about depression, specifically my depression and my ups and downs and how I've been dealing with it and where it all started. And when I came out of the closet when I was like 14, it really excelled my depression. But I was thinking for a little bit and I was like, before that, I did have some random signs of depression, like there was this mirror in my bedroom growing up and I would look into it and I would kind of almost like put on this little play and I would pretend that I was a singer or that I was beautiful or that, you know, I was somebody who I wasn't. And I would kind of start to feel better about myself, and then at the end of it I would just kind of go to my bed and I would just cry because I realized I don't have any singing talent. I look in the mirror and I'm not beautiful. I don't look like a model. Like I don't have naturally beautiful features that, you know, certain people did, and you know, I never excelled in sports, and there was just a lot of things that I felt like I was not good at, and I didn't know what to do about it. I guess I felt like I failed. I mean, I like, you know, you try to sing and then you're like, okay, like I really can't sing. And then I just would get depressed over little things. Like I felt like, you know, all the people around me, you know, they had something really good about them, and the only thing I was really good at growing up was math. I mean, I was always a really good student in school, but like I was always really good at math, but like I don't know, I never thought that it meant anything to me. But so after coming out of the closet and dealing with all of that whole experience, obviously I have a whole bunch of coming out videos, I became severely depressed. Like I was definitely depressed. Like I felt like my family didn't love me. I felt like my friends didn't love me. I like lost a lot of my friends. I lost a lot of people that were around me. I was struggling to just, you know, kind of find someone to love me. And that is why I turned to the internet when I was literally 14. That was 16 years ago. And I was like, hey, internet, I'm gay. And I was a little attention seeking, but hey, it worked. People found me and they were like, wow, you're comfortable being out on the internet, which is like ridiculous to say now, but like back in the day it was a big deal. And just being out on the internet helped so many people just be like, whoa, he's comfortable being himself. But really it was just kind of like me crying out for love because I was not receiving that love in my day-to-day life. And that's why I went and I was online all day, every day, because the people in my real life didn't feel loved by them. So I went on the internet to feel loved, which is so crazy and weird to say, but like I guess now it's like a normal thing. And you know, depression is like a very weird thing to me. Like sometimes it feels like it's always there, kind of like your mind is in like a cloud, like it's just kind of like even in your happiest moments, you kind of, there's like this little evil cloud around you just trying to sabotage your life. Like sometimes like something really good will happen and then like your mind will just, I don't know if it wants to be sad or if it just gets triggered to be sad, or you just feel like you need to be sad at that moment, but like it thinks of something not so pleasant, and it kind of ruins those really happy moments, because sometimes you have happy moments and you're going through a good time, and then all of a sudden, you know, your depression kind of is like, hello, how are you doing? And you're just like, no, go away. And I think sometimes it's harder to deal with, and sometimes I think it's a lot easier. And I just think of this analogy that somebody used once. It's like a little snowball on the top of a mountain, and it's kind of like going. And like that snowball is a small little problem that's just kind of like there but then it just kind of like grows, and then you don't really think about it until like you're like, whoa, there's a fucking snowball right there, and it's kind of just like racking havoc in your life. Like it's just like causing all these problems. You know, you're kind of like dodging this huge snowball that's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger until you have what I like to call an episode. And during these like episodes, it's kind of like sometimes they last, I mean, usually they last like a week or two, when you just really can't deal with anything. Like you're deep in your depression. Like depression, I was diagnosed with clinical depression, so it feels like my depression is always there. But then there's these times where it just really, it's like uncontrollable. Like I just can't knock myself out of it. Like when I just have it, when it's kind of there, I can do things to make myself happier. I can like, I'm like, oh, I like going on walks, or, you know, I will get orange juice because orange juice is really good for depression, and like just random things to make myself happier and try to like lift up my spirits. But yeah, like other, like while that snowball is just, while you're in that depressing state, you want to die. I don't know how else to put it. You don't want to live anymore. And I've realized time and time again that when I'm at that state, that life does get better and that there is happiness around the corner. But when you're at that state, it's hard for anyone to even talk to you, like, because you don't really absorb the things that you normally absorb. It's like you're in this little bubble of just hatred, and you just hate yourself, and you think that you are the problem of everything. You think everyone hates you, and you know, I don't know, maybe I've never had somebody like really there for me while that has all been happening. But like it just feels like it's hard to even talk to people when you're in that state, because you don't really want to talk to people. You just kind of want to push everyone away. And during these states, I feel like is when I sabotage a lot of like my friendships, or I sabotage a lot of situations, because I'm in this really bad mental state and I just want everything to be gone. Which, you know, is obviously not a good thing. It's a very toxic situation, but I don't know, I think I've just been depressed for so long, I've gotten used to it, and it's turned into like this cycle, and it's kind of sad, but like I wish I could just learn how to deal with it. And in my last relationship, honestly, like I felt for the first time in a long time, my depression like finally was at bay, and I felt like I was in control. And I don't know if that's because I always had things to do. My mind was always preoccupied. I was always, you know, we had a whole bunch of videos we had to film. We were always going on vacations. We were always doing this or that or this. So my mind, I don't know, maybe it's when I'm alone, I get triggered more. Like, everyone always says like, oh my God, Matt, you cry all the time. But if you ask my best friends, like how many times they've seen me cry, it's not that much. The internet has seen me cry a million times more than my best friends, because when I'm in person, I don't sit there. I don't like cry in public, so to speak. Like I will go and I would be like, okay, I'm going to go to my room or something. And then I will just let it out. I don't know why. I've always been a person that's kind of like, likes to stay strong. I put on this fake smile and I'm like, I'm happy. I'm okay. But you know, it kind of just builds up inside of me, and I'm just like, I need to just fucking let this out right now, because like I don't know. So it's weird to talk about, because I always am like, oh my God, like when I talk about these things, it makes me seem like I'm like literally a crazy person. But you know, a lot of people deal with this situation, even though, you know, we're all a little different. We all deal with this differently, but people, I think that I just like literally go to my friends and I cry, and that's not the case. I'm a very private crier, like, this is just me in my room alone talking to you guys, but like, I don't like go up to people, and I don't like to talk about certain things with people because I don't like to cry in front of people. Like, I'll talk about, you know, things to my friends, but I won't just like sit there and cry, because I don't know, I like to be alone, and I like to just cry to myself, and it makes me feel better. But it's also a really bad thing, because when I'm alone, it's when like I just feel miserable, and that's when like I'm like, I shouldn't be alone right now, like I should have friends with me all the time. But you know, that's not like a feasible thing. Like, obviously people have lives and they can't just like baby you. But I think if you know someone that's going through depression, or you know someone is feeling sad, and you know, if you don't have depression, it's a lot harder to kind of like realize like what they're going through. But just know that like somebody with depression, it's like not an easy thing. You can't just, there's no on and off switch. You can't just change from happy to sad to happy and like blah blah blah. We're not bipolar, we're depressed. It's a big difference. Like, a lot of people, like bipolar people, they switch off and on, and then all of a sudden they're like have these highs, and we're like woohoo, like euphoric moments, and then they're like really low. But with people that are depressed, it's kind of like, you know, there's a line that we just don't ever cross. We're just like, we're always kind of like, even when we're happy, we're not like soaring happy. We're just kind of like floating along, and it turns into this roller coaster of like ups and downs and ups and downs, and our whole life is just a fucking roller coaster, and we're just like, we want to get off the ride. And I think that's why so many people try to kill themselves, because they just are sick of those lows. And I feel like a lot of people, they have deeper lows than other people. They go through some things, and they just don't have those friends or those family members that tell them that they love them and that life is good. So, you know, if you see someone who's depressed or whatever, don't talk bad about them. Don't be like, oh God, they're depressed, or they're a Debbie Downer. Just, you know, maybe they need a fucking hug. Maybe they need someone to talk to. Maybe they need a friend. You don't know what they need, but, you know, don't like look at them like they're any less than you, because when it comes down to it, we're all fucking humans, and we're all people, and we all deserve to be treated equally. Like, it doesn't matter if we have this mental illness, or, you know, we're perfectly fine and healthy, which I feel like nobody's fine and healthy. But like, I just want you guys to know that like depression is a real thing, and like obviously everyone kind of goes through depression spells, but imagine having this thing with you that you have to carry throughout your whole life, and it just doesn't go away. Like, I wish more than anything I would literally sell everything. I would like I'd sell my soul to the devil himself if he could get rid of my depression. If I could just live a happy life and not be depressed all the time, like I would love that. I would literally love that. I would do anything for that, because I fucking hate being sad. Like, I'd rather be dead than sad all the time. But like, I know that the happy times around the corner, and you know, I kind of got a taste of that in the past with like my ex, and I've had such good experiences that I know that life will get better. And you guys should know that life gets better, and you kind of learn how to deal with your depression. You kind of learn how to move on and move forward, and you kind of have to accept like, hey, this is a part of me, you know? It's something that's always gonna be there, and I can't change it. So I have to learn to live with this. And, you know, we all deal with it in different ways. Whether that be little baby steps on, you know, trying to think of good, happy thoughts, or doing things to make ourselves happy when we're depressed, or planning, you know, like if you like to go to the movies, you know, go to the movies when you're sad, or if you like to get coffee when you're sad, get coffee. Honestly, when I'm sad, coffee always helps me every day. Honestly, like sometimes when I wake up, I don't want to leave my bed. Like, I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to do anything. It's like, why am I still here? Why did I not die in my sleep? You know? Like, I'm like, fuck, I have to live another fucking shitty ass fucking day. But you know what? I still do it. I wake up, I get my coffee, I start feeling a little bit better about life and feeling better about the day. And then I can get, you know, shit that I need to get done. And I kind of preoccupy. I just said kind of preoccupy my mind and move on. So yeah, that's a little bit about my depression. Feel free to leave some comments in the comments below about depression and how you deal with it. I want this to be a very open discussion. I don't want it to just be a one-sided thing. In other episodes of different days, we are going to be having special guests, so it'll be a little bit different. Not sure. I'm kind of just going with the flow with everything. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope this helps someone. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Day 2. All right. Love you guys.